Taco Bell announced the $7 Lux Cravings box. This is unbelievable value because I want someone to give me a better deal than this $7 Lux Cravings box. Are you ready for it?
What's in the box?
A medium drink, beefy 5-layer burrito, double stack taco, Chalupa Supreme Taco, chips with nacho cheese. This is a 55% discount of the full price items, all for $7. This is going to bring America back.
Yeah, I mean, you could just give that to 2 kids, $3.50 each.
That's what I'm saying. This is 2-kid meal. First of all, if you're eating this,
that's a problem.
This should be two people. You know what? Taco Bell, just to keep America healthy, you have to prove that 2 people are eating this because otherwise it's just so fat. It's so bad for you. That's unbelievable value.
No, it is. Chipotle reported recently and they said their business is strong.
Yeah, and they're
from
expensive.
the high end and consumer and the low end consumer.
Yeah, but that's a desirable brand.
But why is McDonald's soft?
I don't know.
McDonald's is like iconic.
I think it's just so much bigger.
There's too many restaurants.
Yeah, there's just too many.
People love that Chipotle bowl, huh?
Chipotle is just like, has like, yeah, the bowl. Everyone wants a bowl. Yeah, who eats a burrito?
Cash.
Ladies and gentlemen, group chat.
Cash.
It's $1 trillion. Hot.
All right, Kathys, welcome back to the original #1 podcast in the world, Group Chat. Before we get into some news, Anand was out again back in Europe.
I was
Hollywood elite.
I was at a wedding in London. So it was there 3 days. So it wasn't like
That's even more elite.
gallivanting
Could
around.
go across go to Europe for 3 days.
A few things. Wedding was great. He posted a ton, so I can say, like, close friend said that lives in LA that's from India/London. Couple observations. So we were busy with the wedding on Saturday and Sunday, so really didn't get to do much.
Weren't you just in London though?
What do you mean?
You didn't go to London on your last trip?
No, that was Paris.
Oh, okay.
One observation, when we're deboarding the plane, I heard multiple people say they were in town for Taylor Swift because she was there for.
I saw a lot of people I know 2 groups of friends took their kids for Taylor Swift.
So that's pretty insane that you're just like on a LA to London flight just to go to Taylor Swift. Like, I was there for a close friend's wedding and they're just there for a concert.
Grandma and grandpa want to take their kids to Taylor Swift. Grandma and grandpa's money is long.
And when we were checking into the hotel, the receptionist was just like, hey, if you're moving around the city, be prepared. Taylor Swift's in town.
Yeah.
Traffic is going to be insane. So that was an interesting observation that she's just an economy at this point.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't think people realize like concert ticket prices in America versus anywhere else in the world, including London and Paris and Tokyo, is so much cheaper.
Yeah. And you can make a trip out of it.
It's a vacation, right?
Yeah.
You get to go to London.
Yeah. And so a lot of people were in town for that. I think she got honored by whatever mayor or duke of London for the arts because she sold out 750,000 people in 8 shows. I don't think she did 8 this time, but it was probably like
the last
previously.
couple,
And then these 3 nights, Ashton Kutcher. I don't know if you saw the clips.
Tom Cruise.
They're all in the same box.
Yeah.
Obviously Travis Kelce, Tom Cruise, Ashton Kutcher,
Jason Kelce. He seemed at least interested. I mean, he's probably gone to 30 shows. He's like, all right, I get it. Shake it off, motherfuckers. Shut up.
But Tom Cruise dancing is pretty insane.
Especially when his daughter was graduating from high school in New York this week. Same day.
So he chose the concert over his daughter?
They're estranged. It's Katie Holmes.
Oh, yeah.
And him have a child.
Yeah.
She graduated, changed her last name. She didn't want to be associated with Cruise.
Wow.
Because she used to be Suri Cruise. And now she's no longer that.
Yeah. You know what's funny is Derry, who listens to the pod, used to live in an apartment building in Chelsea. And Katie Holmes and Suri, right?
Yeah.
He said when Suri was like, there's like a play area, he's like, security was insane.
Yeah.
And now she's not a Cruise anymore. So she's a Holmes?
Now playing Insane by
Whoa.
Eminem on Apple Music.
Wow. Did we say Siri? Oh, Suri.
Suri. That's really good. Apple, get a better AI. That's why they're using OpenAI. So he missed, his daughter didn't want him at the graduation.
Yeah,
so
I don't think they've seen each other in like 10 years.
Paul McCartney was there from the clips I saw.
Sir Paul McCartney.
Sir Paul McCartney. Prince William was there.
Yeah, I saw that with the kids and the...
But the interesting thing about it is these are like some of the most famous people in the world, and they're losing their mind to the concert. They don't act cool. They're just like...
I think
it's cool to lose your mind to Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift. If you do it on another show, it looks corny, but
Like if they went to, just any other show, would they be dancing like buffoons?
Yeah, like Tom Cruise.
Ashton Kutcher looked ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's like what you go for at that. You let loose.
It's just an interesting thing. And then the second thing, so Monday I actually got to spend the day just kind of roaming around. The city kind of seems soft. I don't know, when you went this year, right?
Yeah.
At some point?
Yeah, I mean, it didn't seem like it was busy or not. It's not like...
And this is June.
Yeah.
This isn't like August or, I'm going to forget August, February or March. This is busy time. It just felt soft.
Yeah.
Like I walked around where all those shops are in Mayfair.
Yeah.
And no one was there.
I mean, August is technically the peak of summer. Still very early summer.
Yeah.
Like if you think about Americans basically got off of school in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Right. So
the families you knew that were going to Taylor Swift, their kids had just like finished school. And
literally
they
like
up.
in the last week and a half, their kids have finished school.
Got it.
So I think it's the beginning of the wave. Don't worry. America's coming.
Yeah. The fat Americans are coming.
Yeah. America's coming everywhere. You think you're worried about migrants? Americans are coming with our wallets.
They're the only ones that can spend.
We got the whole world on our back.
Yeah.
Literally. NVIDIA, Microsoft, Apple, and Americans.
I mean,
and boomers.
NVIDIA fluctuates like 250, 300 billion a day.
Yeah. In a given week, $1 trillion. It's unbelievable. It's just like world economies just being traded every single day.
I actually was, I was just, you saw that raw dogging flights article?
I used to be a raw dogger.
So I'm kind of a raw dogger on the flights. Like I don't
Explain it. So for those.
There's an article that GQ put out that went viral. This one guy like posted on TikTok. He was on like a 8-hour flight and he just watched the flight map the whole way
I used to do that.
and didn't watch a movie, didn't like use his phone. And I actually kind of do that on flights, not the whole way, but like a lot of the flight. And I do it for 2 reasons. I'm on my phone the whole time when I'm not on a plane, and Wi-Fi is typically terrible on most flights. And I don't need to see another shitty movie.
Yeah.
And actually just think. And
You're big.
What?
You're Aristotle over here.
No, I just like literally sit there. Maybe I'm not thinking about anything. Maybe I'm thinking about some things.
You're David Putty.
So something I was thinking about on the way over, because it's a 10-hour flight, how everyone criticizes the US for giving aid to all these different countries, right? There's like this whole segment of the population that can't stand we're giving 150 billion to Ukraine, even though we know it's being stolen, even though we know it's being misappropriated. And we're doing this like
everywhere,
globally, every country. And I was thinking, I'm curious your opinion, is that just the tax we pay to be the global leader? Like steal our money, but we run the whole world. It's
a good theory because the grand scheme of U.S.
they're not
economy.
Stupid. Like the CIA and Secretary of Defense, and they all know where the money's going.
Yeah.
If we know, they know.
It's like whatever. Let Zelensky have a couple yachts.
Yeah. But guess what? When America says something, you have to listen.
Yes, I think conceptually it makes sense.
Because why else would we do it? If the Blinken had to go over there, play his rock show, and tell them to stop stealing so much and share the stealing. That was literally what he had to do.
Yeah.
Share the stealing.
Yeah. I think it makes complete sense, and it's probably happening. I think the original intention of aid was to actually help combat whatever the country is going through. But corruption in, like people, America has its set of corruption issues far greater than other countries.
Yeah, it's not close.
Like put it like this, our politicians, for example, will trade on information. For Nancy Pelosi to steal money is really hard. She can make money off of her influence.
Yep.
But to just take money is hard. Whereas like Zelensky just goes in the checking account of Ukraine and takes whatever he wants.
Right.
It's very different. So like ours will be Nancy Pelosi approves the zoning of some building and gets a super PAC donation for her
Or
reelection.
trades on Nvidia because she knows like the chips.
Yeah, she that's what I'm saying. She could trade, but and then you get donations, definitely. And those donations can be used to maybe fund your private plane or whatever it is. Like there are ways, there's mechanisms where you can get money. Whereas it's like a checking account for these people.
Right. No, that's
the
totally
government's
true.
account is your account.
Yeah, that's 100% true. Like the presidents and rulers of all these countries who are giving aid can do whatever they want with the money.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to go with the purpose that it was sent.
Yeah.
But it has to be a chess move. I don't think we're that stupid.
No. I think they think the American people are that stupid and that they make us like, when you see protest, I'm more and more convinced they're all fake.
Okay.
Do you know anyone who actually gives a fuck about anything?
During COVID, yes, not now.
No. That's why the rule with no mask protesting, like the mayor of LA, mayor of many cities said, you want to go out and protest against Israel? Take off your fucking mask.
Yeah.
And see what happens. See how many people show up to the protest now. Nobody.
Right. Because then you're tagged
Yeah.
and your employer will see you. And
Yeah.
we saw the cafe Maro,
Yeah.
the owner got spotted.
Yeah.
And now the restaurant's probably going to be in
It's
trouble.
toast.
Yeah.
It's a Jewish neighborhood.
Very Jewish neighborhood.
Yeah. What do you think? I mean, I've been going there for 10 years, 20 years probably. That thing's over.
Yeah, that's done. And the last observation before news. So obviously you travel a ton. How easy global entry is coming back home. They just like take a picture of you and they just say like, call your name, right?
Yeah.
And then even when we got to London, they just take a picture of you and you just walk right through. That is so different than how travel was 10, 15 years ago. And what it made me realize is that we're just in a police state. They have your picture.
Yeah.
And even when I went to Dubai, they take a picture and then take a picture and they scan you because every city block has a camera.
Yeah.
So if you did something stupid,
We got you.
they're going to fucking arrest your ass.
Yeah.
And I think similarly, they're just like facial recognition, leave, do whatever you want, but
Yeah.
we know what you're up to.
Yeah. I mean, I think that first time when I went through global entry a few years ago and I did not have to like talk to anyone and they said, yeah, go. I was like, oh, okay, whatever. They're just tracking
Yeah, I
everyone.
mean, that's the compromise for convenience.
Yeah.
You're just monitored 24/7.
I'm okay with that. Unless it's used against me, then I would be sad.
Yeah, that's the problem. It can be used against you.
Yeah. If I do something stupid, yes.
Yes, but they could paint a picture around you however they want. In every country now. Because all countries
Yeah.
are like this. We just have your face. We know exactly what you're doing. And we have cameras everywhere in our country.
Yeah, I think you have to give them a reason. You know what I mean? Like I use the comparison to, you could say every city in the world is unsafe. Everyone says their city's unsafe. Or we read about cities, right? Same way, like I don't walk around West Hollywood anymore at night. I used to.
Yeah,
I
you
used to
can't.
walk home everywhere. Even last night, I walked home from Delilah. I saw two sketch people across the street twice, back and forth, because I didn't want to just deal with whatever was going on there. And I was like visibly just like not my normal comfortable walking. Like during the daytime, I have no problem. I could see at least everything that's going on. If there is a transient, homeless, whatever it is, I see it and I go out of my way to avoid.
Yeah, go the other side of the street.
I'll cross the street. I have no problem. It's inconvenient. I don't give a fuck. I will do that. But at night, I won't do that. If you take people anywhere and this goes back to the surveillance thing, is because as long as I kind of generally abide by the rules and know that, like, not just rules, but like abide by like pretty simple constructs of like, you know, if you're walking around in the middle of the night in a major city, there's risks. I'm sorry.
Yep.
That's just the times we live in right now. If you choose to do that and something happens, it's kind of your fault too.
Yeah.
Right. Like, and I get it. Some people don't have the means to transportation, and you just got.
You don't want to pay for the Uber. You do the double scooter. The double scooter is popular in Europe.
Yeah, scooters and trains and whatever.
Bikes.
Yeah, and like currently right now in MTA in LA, there's a tremendous safety issue in buses and subway systems. So I get that piece to it, but I do get, like, on the surveillance piece, like, you have to give people a reason to turn against you. Yeah,
I think it's, if you're really important, it matters. But if you're an average citizen, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, for like us who just live our life.
Because I don't know if you've seen the reports that, I know it's always been rumored, the conspiracy theory about Epstein being a Mossad agent.
Yeah.
And now they're like coming out with like John Doe in a lawsuit saying he was doing that. And then they're claiming, this is all conspiracy corner.
Yeah.
I'm not vouching for any of this, that the Monica Lewinsky, Bill Clinton was foreign actors releasing the tape to Judge Report and Breitbart.
Yeah. I believe that.
Because he didn't pardon someone. John Concord, I think is the name.
Yeah, these are like, but that's like,
at that level, surveillance
people,
matters.
if you go, if you're the president or you're like a politician.
Like, I don't think Bezos's dick pics leaked on accident.
That's fine. His is not accident. His was his brother-in-law or something.
No, it was MBS.
No, I thought it was like brother-in-law.
He clicked some link on WhatsApp, and someone snaked him for sure.
Yeah,
I forget who.
Yeah. Why MBS? What does he got against? Gonna get a package on time?
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. Yeah, we'll have to see on that. Well, let's get into some news. I think the big news of the day is the debate of the century. This is like Aaron Burr, Alexander Hamilton, the duel that we've all been waiting for. You know, in one corner, we have Donald Trump, one of the most profound commentary subjects in American history. Like, I don't know if anyone's has more sound bites than Donald Trump ever. The other corner, we're just trying to get some words out.
So, do you think Trump has comedy writers? Obviously, he has people that are prepping him. Does he have like
no
Bill Burr?
Way. It's all him. He's that good.
Writing.
No, he's that good. I think he's very talented at that. I mean, listen to him talk. He's just repeats himself. He was talking about Taylor Swift. Very beautiful. She's a very beautiful girl.
He said that?
Very, very beautiful, in fact. He's not like a good speaker.
I mean, he's not saying anything.
Yeah, but
he's just charming and funny.
He's funny. He's very funny. That's really the story. So the debate happens today.
I mean, he had the all-in guys eating out of their hand, like his hands.
Yeah.
They were all like.
So the big data points that came out in the last 24 hours is Nate Silver, who is the 538 pollster that is kind of the election kind of for most people pretty objective, like not political each way. Came out today that said 66% chance of Trump winning the Electoral College. Popular vote looked like it was a dead heat.
Yep.
And Trump wins pretty easily if the election were to happen today.
Yeah.
The Democrats came out with, you could tell that they leaked this information. Stocks all-time high, 50-year low on crime. The reason why I think that's very dangerous, because I see a lot of people posting that on the Democrats, why that's so out of touch. You could still say the stocks are at an all-time high, but we know people are being left behind. Crime is at an all-time low, but we know people still don't feel safe. The messaging is so off. Instead, it's like, you are wrong. Because, I mean, I don't believe crime's at all-time. I think the reporting has changed. We know CPI reporting has changed.
Yeah.
We know inflation data has changed. Everything changes. Why wouldn't you just change the crime, what you count as a crime?
Sure, but I think the issue with crime is it's happening in pockets. So it's happening in West Hollywood.
Yeah.
It's happening in Beverly Hills. It's happening in Hollywood, but it's not happening in the Valley.
Maybe. I don't know. I'd have to talk to people.
Like our mom isn't afraid in Granada Hills.
Yeah, no. But that's fine. But most of Americans, the population, densely populated, is in like 8 cities, which are seeing. Because I do think they're changed the way that they're reporting crime data.
Yeah, it's fair. But just to point, Nate Silver was wrong in 2016.
Yeah.
Because he said Hillary was going to win on a landslide.
Yeah, well, I think everyone said was wrong on Trump. 100% of people. I think now they're listening to people. The key topics that I think, to me, that are the most dangerous is, for the Democrats, the woke power is gone. Like AOC and Jamal Brown got destroyed in New York City by George Latimer. It was I think the most expensive congressional race ever.
Yep.
I think George Latimer spent $25 million. And obviously super PACs donated, pro-Israel super PACs donated. And I think people are doubting how much money will be spent in this election that is going to force people's hands to vote, like on certain topics. They're polarizing topics that they just have more influence.
Yeah, I saw Sheldon Adelson's wife has $100 million raised for Republicans.
Yeah.
In PACs.
Yeah.
And then I'm sure Soros, and they have their pockets of capital that are.
Yeah, I think the challenge will be, I don't think the problem is when I look at the messaging of the Democrats, a lot of the things that like Republicans are pushing do not feel extreme today. Like when you're listening to Donald Trump, what did he say on All In that was extreme?
But he knew the audience. He knows what to do.
I know, but that's his job.
Yeah.
He said, if he says it, then people believe it.
But they didn't push back on any of the things.
But okay, give me a topic where you felt extreme.
So he complained about immigration and people can't, like smart people can't come in the country. That's his policy.
Yeah,
but he did it.
But he's willing to change it now. But that's the point.
Can he say I made a mistake?
He's not going to say that. No president.
But why
ever
didn't
said
they
that.
push him and say, why'd you do it in the first place?
And he could, his point would have been Biden hasn't done anything either.
It's true, but you can't just say whataboutism.
What politician ever said I made a mistake? That's a ridiculous statement to make.
I think those 4 guys who used to be non-mainstream media have turned into mainstream media.
They have mainstream reach.
I know. And they've changed the whole podcast.
Well, I also think
they used to be independent thinkers that actually just argued about stuff.
No, it's their independent thinking isn't just aligned with you anymore. That's different.
No, that's not true.
Yeah.
I mean, J. Cal hates Trump. He didn't say one thing.
Yeah, because you don't disrespect the president.
It's not disrespect. You challenge him.
They don't though. It's never,
like
no one does
Trump sat with Jon Stewart, you think he wouldn't be challenged? Jon Stewart challenges everyone.
Yeah, but Joe Biden wouldn't go to Joe Rogan, and Donald Trump ain't going to Jon Stewart. Just how it goes.
Rogan doesn't want Trump on his pod for the exact reason.
I'm saying if let's say Biden wanted to go, Joe Biden would never show up to any podcast.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So I think the problem is like, I think no one's going to go to the lion's den. There's no point. Why would either candidate go to a situation?
Yeah, I'm sure Trump's people told the All-In guys, you can't talk about X, you can't talk about Y.
Of course.
Yeah.
Why the fuck would you? Why wouldn't you?
But
do
they claim to be this independent podcast, and they're not.
But whatever. Who gives a shit? They're
MSNBC meets Fox News, like meets CNN.
Yeah, they have millions of. They're above. They've gone. They're big now.
Yeah,
Who cares?
I'm pointing out that they had a really great thing going.
You can't. I know, but once you get big, that changes.
Rogan doesn't change.
Yeah,
He's the biggest.
Yeah, but he doesn't have the presidential candidates on.
He could.
His
They wanna
tone would
come on.
change, and his tone would change because you know what? The fucking Secret Service comes and says, "This is how it's going to go down, Big Joe."
And that's why Rogan doesn't have them on.
Exactly. He knows that
Because he
can't-
knows it's a bullshit interview.
Yeah, but if Donald Trump wanted to come on this pod, I'd have him on tomorrow. Like, what up? Of course. Why
Would you
wouldn't
push
you? It's
back on it?
huge. It's blockbuster.
Would
to
you
have.
push back on it on things
No,
he's
I
done?
wouldn't push back on Sleepy Joe either. Why would I? They're the president of the United States, the most powerful people ever. You think I'm going to push back on Joe Biden or Donald Trump?
Okay.
Absolutely not. I wouldn't.
Well, anyways, this debate's. I'm not watching it.
I'm 100% watching
I'm
it.
waiting for the clips
I'm
because it's going to be like better just on clips because it'll be, I think, pretty boring on long form. But the clips are going to be fun
Yeah, I mean, I think it's blockbuster.
because it's 6 p.m.
Yeah. So I think, the big topics that are, in my opinion, that have to get addressed will be Ukraine, Israel, Palestine,
Borders.
inflation, immigration. That is it. Nothing else matters. You have to address those things.
What stimulants do you think they're both taking? They got to be tired. It's 9 p.m. It wasn't in DC. Where's the interview?
I don't know.
It's Atlanta.
Okay.
So it's 6 p.m. Pacific. So it's 9 p.m. These two 80-year-olds.
Trump, we know he's just Diet Cokes, whatever. He's going to have 17 Diet Cokes. He probably doesn't even drink coffee.
I mean, you're tired by 9 p.m.
oh, I'm dead.
These guys are 40 years older than you.
Joe Biden, the robot's coming in for him. I saw they were putting the robot.
You think they just take some Adderall like at 8 p.m.?
They're pumping him steroids, everything. Boom, boom. Brain steroids, body steroids, leg steroids. The guy's going to come in running. I'm telling you, they're going to pump his ass up.
Yeah.
They're gonna pump it up and say, "This is for the Republic. You got to go do this, Joe. You
Yeah.
got one last fight in you." Because he has to do maybe one more debate after this.
Depending how this goes, he may not.
Yeah. No, they pumped him up. He just has to be, what is it, 1 hour?
Wait, no, it's probably an hour and a half.
Yeah, Joe's got an hour and a half in him. He probably has not got out of bed in 2 days.
Yeah, he's probably just sleeping right now.
Yeah.
He's at some Atlanta hotel just sleeping.
Just dozing off. All
They
right.
probably like pump him with anesthesia to make sure that he's sleeping.
Yeah, I
Because
mean,
it's tough to sleep at like 3 p.m.
yeah. We'll see. I want to talk about a series of economic news that I found really interesting. That I'm going to put them all together in a group. The first is trucking employment has collapsed.
Yep.
This has been a precursor to recession since 1991. So it's basically we're nearing we're below pre-pandemic levels now in terms of trucking kind of employment. And right when the pandemic happened, trucking collapsed.
Yeah,
and then
of
it
course.
just
Yeah.
exploded.
Yep.
A
Like
year
3 months later.
And so the reason why that's important, if you don't have context, goods are moving, right? Goods are being imported. Goods are moving from distribution centers to retailers to other distribution centers to warehouses. That is collapsing. So that is a pretty big sign that consumer demand has failed. Or failing. The next interesting thing, new home sales plunged 11%. It was supposed to go down 0.2%.
Yep.
So that is different than existing home sales. This is a brand new home that got built, 11% down. It also says that for the first time in a very long time, I forgot how many years it was, that new homes sale prices are lower than existing. The median is now, it's cheaper to buy a new home. So that's an interesting thing. And I don't know how many times that's happened in history.
So if you think about it, how I just logically think about it, not being a real estate person, is that just shows you that the existing home people have staying power.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to move unless you meet my price.
Yeah.
Where do I need to go?
Yeah.
But-
There has to be a substantial financial change in their life for them to want to leave.
Yeah.
Like if you're sitting on 2.5% mortgage, you might as well just rent your house out. If you run into that financial trouble, but at the same time, the other interesting data point that came in was in May, pending home sales unexpectedly plunged in May to a new record low. So they're expecting a small rebound in May. It actually tumbled 2.1% month over month. And then year over year, we're down 6.6% to a new low. So a real estate economist said supply and demand movements suggest easing home price appreciation in upcoming months. Inevitably, more inventory in a job-creating economy will lead to a greater home buying, especially when mortgage rates descend. So we're basically at a point where we're kind of in a deadlock. So something has to give. So either the other statistic I read that the U.S. is 2.2 million homes short to allow for everybody who wants to buy a home, get a home, which can't be filled.
Well, I think unless you have a life event where I don't even know, you should just rent, because locking in interest rates at
This price.
all-time high.
Well, I don't think
We
anyone's
know it's-
buying, right?
Yeah, we know
unless you're buying cash. There are
If you're
people
buying
buying
all
cash.
cash, then you're fine.
Yeah.
But we know whether it's end of this year, next year, the year after, interest rates are going to be half.
So the other interesting economic piece of data that I saw, and this is from another economist, is the Fed is likely to cut interest rates by 25 basis points in September, following up with twice as big cuts in November and December, and a much more aggressive easing than the one or two cuts markets expect. So people now are thinking shit's actually getting bad fast, and September will be like the first cut. And then by the end of the year, the consumer, I mean, I don't know if you saw this, Walgreens,
Yeah.
they have 8,500 stores. They're closing 2,500.
And it affects 57,000 people, I think.
57,000
employees,
jobs.
yeah.
Another really big chain in the Northeast went bankrupt and maybe liquidating too. So the economic pain is now accelerating, and you're seeing a rise in bankruptcies. And so I think inflation on the consumer side, consumer goods, is going to go away very fast. Like I think on consumer retail goods, prices are going to drop. The problem is rents are not dropping fast enough.
No.
We know insurance. I just got my new fucking car insurance. So much more expensive.
Yeah.
And so I think that is ultimately the big challenge, is that you can't get car insurance, home insurance, and rent down to a place where people can actually not get affected by inflation anymore. So
Yeah.
we're in a...
And crops, because of climate change, they're just going to keep going up.
Some, not all, some
No.
have crashed completely. So some commodity prices have literally collapsed. Like eggs have collapsed. Coffee has collapsed.
But cocoa and a few of these other
yeah, I think
crops.
those will have ebbs and flows, but like food prices are starting to come
Like you
down.
go to Starbucks a lot. What's the price of a coffee? Whatever you get versus what it was 4 years ago.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that's why I don't believe any of the data the government's sharing. They're telling you that like nothing has gone up. Inflation's 3%. But if you look at the basic items of society, it's ranging between 20 and 50% increased costs from pre-pandemic. Like people have done that. It's very obvious studies. Go to the gas station, go to the grocery, go to your rent.
Gas is
your
still
insurance.
very expensive.
Still.
I saw $6 gas.
Yeah, and crude oil's down. They're scamming us.
Yeah.
That's my point, is that like there's too many things that like we cannot trust the data the government is giving on these topics. So I think like ultimately where I think there's a big opportunity is they're going to have no choice but to lower interest rates now, but inflation on certain things are nowhere to be found.
And
improving.
inflation, I've said this a million times on this podcast, is there's a lot that we just can't control.
Yeah, but I mean, like, yeah, I agree. I agree with that. And so we're in a really tough spot because consumer is softening across the board. And there's no more bullets in the chamber except interest rates.
Yeah.
Right. There's no more cash to be, and you see it. I think the job economy is going to stay relatively good. Like, I think certain industries are going to see huge shifts in jobs, and like Walgreens cutting 57,000 people. That's kind of scary.
Yeah.
Cause that's like working class Americans just getting eliminated. But I think there's enough demand for those types of folks. I think the white collar workers getting hacked at like $250 a year, those people are going to have a harder time.
Oh, for sure.
That's where I think home movement happens, is at that price range. Like people that own $1 million house, they make $300,000 a year.
And get fired.
Get fired. That's a pretty big, that's a life altering event.
Yeah, you can't afford your mortgage.
Yeah. And it said,
And you're not going to replace that $300,000 income.
and it said 30% of people, I was reading this stat, 30% of Americans that make $250,000 a year are paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah, I believe that. I mean, we have friends that have a very strong opinion. Everyone in LA is broke.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if you make $50K or $2 million a year.
Because your expenses are too high.
Yeah, you overextend. Everyone overextends.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. Whatever stage you're at, you're probably overextended. And I think that those are all life altering events, because like how many people have 6 months savings? Very few people have 6 months savings.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter what your income bracket is.
Yeah. 6 months of like income. God forbid you lost your job.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard.
Well, yeah. I mean, because there's two different issues, right? The lower income people are struggling with inflation.
Yeah.
So they're overextending on just groceries and basic
Yep.
necessities.
Yep.
And the higher income people are paying $60K a year for private school with 3 kids.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a really, really tough situation. But luckily for us, Amazon Prime Day is coming.
July, right?
July, Amazon Prime Day is coming. Amazon had a mega announcement yesterday.
I saw it.
Mega. So just for people interest, Amazon is not a company that moves fast. Historically, they take their time, they assess the situation,
Yep.
and they never feel like pressured by outside. Temu and Shein are two of the most disruptive companies to American retail. And Amazon announced yesterday that they are going to create a section on Amazon for sub $20 items. And, you know, I've told the Ghost team this before. I told them this last year. I said, Amazon is no longer in the sub $20 business. If it's not branded goods, it's lost. Temu won that business and Shein won that business. Amazon said, hold on. We're going to allow Chinese drop shippers too. This is going to, between Amazon, Temu, and Shein, if you're a brick and mortar retailer
You're toast.
selling non-branded items under $20, you should pack up now.
So what's a retailer that says non-branded?
Dollar General.
They're not.
Every
They
dollar
were
store.
the darling.
Yes.
Dollar General was the darling. They were, during kind of the retail decline, they were like one of the only ones expanding.
Yeah, look at 99-cent store, gone. Bye. I think dollar stores holistically, unless they're heavy in grocery. If you're heavy in grocery, you'll have to come to the store and then you'll still pick up those other items. But if you're not focused on grocery, you can't win. And what fucking grocery can you get for $1 now? Nothing. What are you going to sell? One egg?
Yeah.
You walk out of Dollar General with an egg. Can't even get a 12-pack.
So, yeah, it's funny that the U.S. government is just compounding the problem, letting Amazon do this instead of just stopping Temu and Shein.
Yeah.
Because this is going to affect a lot of jobs.
I mean, Oh yeah, and like retail jobs, I don't think dollar. I just mentioned $1 store.
I mean, it'll affect Target and Walmart too. There's so many non-branded goods there.
So many non-branded goods.
People go there just to pick up like 5 t-shirts.
I mean, I don't know why I get served this from Temu, like these giant water slides. They're like, imagine the size of a house, a water slide. $100
on Instagram, or are you getting
Instagram. Every day I get served these
You must have
huge.
searched a water slide. Are you in the market for a water slide?
Maybe. I don't know. I can't remember if I was searched something like for the kids.
Or Haley did, and they know you guys they map
Yeah.
you.
And like I'm talking about the size of these, like it's like a water park in your backyard for like $100. It's massive. And I think like they are iterating and moving so fast, Temu, Shein, and TikTok. It's going so fast.
Yeah.
And they are such a force to be reckoned with on the, like, if I'm TikTok, maybe you just give up the fucking content game, go straight into shopping.
Well, they are, right? So they're competing with Amazon.
Yeah, they start TikTok shop launches their set of sales this week too. So you'll see a ton of promotions there, but this is all going to be good for inflation. That's the one good news.
Because it's just cheaper goods.
Cheaper goods.
I mean, TikTok is a monster. They also have TikTok Live where they live stream programming.
Yeah.
Like the Pat McAfee show. I know I talk about it a lot.
Yeah.
You could watch on TikTok.
The same show.
It's the same, instead of ESPN.
Wow.
Live. You can just, he says it all the time. You can catch us on YouTube, TikTok, or ESPN.
God, why would ESPN allow that?
Well, he licensed his show. He has full control.
Got it. So he can
do whatever he wants.
Okay. That's why.
I don't know how many people watch it on TikTok, but
Maybe a few thousand. It's engaged. Yeah, I don't know. The war between Amazon, Temu, Shein, and then everyone else, it's about to be.
I think it really affects any mid-tier brand.
I think if you're a brand,
like Nike, it's not going to affect.
No, it doesn't matter to any of those people. I think if you're a brand and you mean something to your customer, you're fine. I actually think you're going to thrive because everyone's going to buy.
But like the private label stuff at Macy's, that's all
That's
toast.
fucked.
The
That
private label,
Shein won that game.
basically private label's over.
Private label, unless it's like Kirkland at Costco, which is like a brand at this point.
Yeah, great slippers, by the way.
Yeah, but like they unless it's something like that, like you could just Temu's. I think we talked about this in the last episode with Drama. Temu distrust is through the roof. Like consumers distrust Temu
Because of what, fraudulent goods?
No, yeah,
Or
China,
they're
from
just
China.
copying.
Yeah, whatever. They just like a distrust. They don't like it, but it doesn't affect their spending behavior because they're spending more than ever on the damn platform.
Yeah.
You have to consume even in down times. People don't have the ability to not spend money. So Temu gives you the itch. It's scratched.
So like a 21-year-old in college can't afford like the branded goods. So you think they're just all Shein and Temu?
Yeah, look at the numbers. $30 billion Shein's doing.
Yeah. So in college, you obviously
High
aren't
school.
earning money. You're in debt from whatever
Yeah.
tuition is.
I think go younger, go to high school, college, 20s. Think
Well,
about
high school, the parents are still buying them shit. I think everyone gets cut off in college. And then it's grandma and grandpa.
Depends. Grandma and grandpa may not like those Chinese goods. Like you can use my credit card, but you're buying made in USA, buddy boy.
Oh God.
Because they're not gonna. Yeah, I mean, I think from a retail standpoint, like you got to be in the branded business. You do not want to be in the private label business.
So obviously, given your business, tell me it's June, end of June, call it. And what have you seen difference between January and the first 6 months of the year? In
These
terms
alternative channels are becoming hot, like whatnot.
but in terms of just what are brands telling you?
Soft, yeah, across the board.
Like soft or destructively soft?
Depends. The really good brands, they're soft, but they're doing fine. They're still profitable. They're still doing great. Like it's if you're an okay brand or you're a brand that doesn't mean anything, you're toast. You're really struggling. And I think that's the difference. It's pretty binary. Like there's some brands that reported earnings, Abercrombie, Gap.
Abercrombie just had a resurgence though.
Gap too, on fire.
That's crazy.
Like they've turned their businesses around and they're doing fine. There's a couple other publicly traded companies. I forgot who it was that reported really strong earnings. And I think trend matters. I think if you're on trend and you mean something to the customer, you're doing okay. Like Lululemon stock is getting punished, but they're still growing and profitable.
Yeah.
They're not losing money.
Yeah.
It's not as bad as, oh wait.
I don't think so, but when you see that leading indicator if trucking's down, that means people aren't transmitting goods as much.
Because they're coming from China.
Fair.
What do you need a truck for? Trucking is going to be rough if this China thing happens. Because you're just going to buy the goods from
Yeah.
I cannot believe no American company has helped shut this down. It's fucking nuts to me.
Well, because they're complicit. Amazon's complicit.
I know Amazon is, but why not Walmart?
Maybe they're drop shipping from China.
You know who's probably lobbying for this more than anyone? Facebook and Google. I bet, the two biggest spenders on Facebook and Google are Temu and Shein.
So meaning they're not lobbying to shut it down.
They're lobbying to keep it open.
Yeah.
Zuck calls and says, that little loop around we got? Chuck Schumer, keep that going.
Let me get back on the mat.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're talking, someone said that Temu may have spent $4 billion with Meta last year. $4 billion. Imagine you had a customer that spent $4 billion. You're going to do whatever you want. Whatever they want, you're going to do.
Yeah. No, I agree.
So nuts. Here's another big one. Taco Bell.
Mm-hmm.
This is why when everyone tells you the economy is good, and then Taco Bell announced the $7 Lux Cravings box. This is unbelievable value. I want this to go on TikTok because I want someone to give me a better deal than this $7 Lux Cravings box. Are you ready for
what's
it?
in the box?
A medium drink, beefy 5-layer burrito, double stack taco, chalupa supreme taco, chips with nacho cheese. This is a 55% discount of the full price items, all for $7. This is going to bring America back.
Yeah, I mean, you could just give that to 2 kids, $3.50 each.
That's what I'm saying. This is 2-kid meal. First of all, if you're eating this,
that's a problem.
This should be two people. You know what? Taco Bell, just to keep America healthy, you have to prove that 2 people are eating this. Because otherwise, it's just so fat. It's so bad for you. That's unbelievable value.
Yeah, no, it is. And Chipotle reported recently, and they said their business is strong.
Yeah, and they're
from
expensive.
the high end and consumer and the low end consumer.
Yeah, but that's a desirable brand. Like Chipotle.
But why is McDonald's soft?
I don't know.
McDonald's is like iconic.
I think it's just so much bigger.
There's too many restaurants.
Yeah, there's just too many. You pick.
People love that Chipotle bowl, huh?
Chipotle is just the bowl. Everyone wants a bowl. I only want bowls. Give me a bowl of
that's
shit.
the majority of their business is bowls, not burritos and tacos.
Yeah, who eats a burrito?
Yeah.
Like the Chipotle customer, there's a lot of meatheads.
Yeah, and you fool yourself to thinking it's healthy, but you're just consuming.
But it's healthy of the options.
Yeah, it's healthier than McDonald's.
By the way, you can go there, just eat meat, no rice, no cheese, some veggies. You can get meat and veggies. Probably as good as anything else.
I bet you a lot of gym rats are Chipotle bowling.
No, I see meatheads in the Chipotle near my house. Big water jug, 75 ounces.
Yeah.
Big bowl of meat.
Interesting.
Meat and guac.
It's just like I think with what you kind of were saying before, that it's just a rise to the top, meaning the best brands are going to be totally fine in this soft economy.
Yeah.
And if you're not a Chipotle or Taco Bell, I don't get why McDonald's is down, but and those huge brands, you're going to be fine in this little downturn because a lot of people are feeling it. It's just the crop. If you're good, you're going to be fine.
Yeah.
If you're average, you're probably fucked.
Yeah. Yep. Agree. Let's move on to winners, losers, content. Do you have a winner this week?
I do. I know you guys touched on it a little bit. I heard the pod on Sunday. Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
So Drama said I went to the show.
Yeah.
It was iconic.
They not like us.
They not like us.
Yeah.
So me and Hav went.
Yeah. He said it was amazing. I watched it. It was great.
I will say, like, I've in a rap show, so forget other bands or whatever. I've never seen a stadium or arena react the way they did to his performance.
Yeah.
It was like totally blockbuster. I don't care where you sit on the beef. It was just like, especially since we're born and raised in LA, even though we're suburban kids, we understand what goes on in other parts of the city.
Yeah.
And it was iconic.
Yeah. It looked iconic. It was really well shot, well done. It was really fun.
Yeah. No, he definitely made it like an LA moment. Like, obviously, he brought the gangs out. Russell Westbrook, who's an LA guy, DeRozan's from Compton.
Yeah.
It just shows you how respected he is in his own community.
Yeah.
Like, no one views him as a sellout. Like, they're all willing to show up.
He always was a quiet, like.
Yeah, he does like toy drives.
Yeah.
And then I saw in some interview, like, he pays for the funerals of like people that get killed.
Yeah, no, I think he has like always been like a upstanding citizen of Compton. Whereas a lot of people aren't.
You know, and a lot of people that make it don't get to go back to their community.
Yeah.
And he's clearly beloved.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, it also helps when you like actually win.
Yeah.
When you win, it makes everything so much. You're like ordained when you fucking win like that.
Yeah.
Like in the battle.
But yeah, no, it was an epic experience.
Yeah, that was awesome. My winner is Rivian. Volkswagen, I don't know what prompted them to do this, but they did a $5 billion investment
into a failing company.
Into a pretty bad company.
Yeah.
So it only makes me think, you know, the details of it are still coming out. You know, this company only sold 50,000 cars in 2023.
Yeah.
They're only going to do 57,000 in 2024. So like
not much growth.
Like very little.
What happened to the Amazon partnership? Did Amazon cut them? Remember they were going to.
Those are semis. I mean, they're probably not even made yet. I think it seems like the reason for the investment is actually getting the technology into of Rivian and their design and their architecture for Volkswagen cars. And then autonomy, that Rivian's been focused on autonomous driving and everyone basically needs to get in on it now. I mean, I'm kind of nervous for Uber. Waymo is everywhere.
Uber stock's at an all-time high.
Yeah. I mean, their business is on fire.
Like it's so expensive.
Yeah.
They're probably making a fortune.
Yeah. It's like $100 to go down the street. That's why I walked home last night. I looked at Uber. I was like, fuck, I'll take my chances on the street.
Yeah, you'd rather get stabbed than pay $17 for an Uber X.
Yeah, to go a fucking half a mile. It was a huge bailout for Rivian.
Yeah, the stock was up like 40% on the news.
They needed it. But I don't know, man. That autonomous driving, Waymo is, and that's owned by Google for people that don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any like, if Google just decides to make that ride cheap, I know it's marginally cheaper than Uber. I mean, it needs to be 50% cheaper. It's a wrap. I'd overnight switch to Waymo for everything.
Right.
If it was 50% cheaper.
Yeah, the only thing that's I think saving Uber is that Tesla Model 3. Because if you order Uber X, almost because they don't have to pay for gas.
Yeah.
So the driver just, saves so much on margin of what he or she takes home. And
And it's a nice car to sit in.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's better than the Civics we used to ride in.
Yeah, exactly. That's fair.
Because Tesla Model 3 is cheap, right? It's not a premium car.
It's a $30,000 car, yeah.
Yeah.
What's your loser?
Dave Grohl, Foo Fighters.
I mean, I know he is. What did he do?
So he was performing at the same time as Taylor Swift in London and took a shot at her and basically said, hey, I know there's an Eras tour going on. We're the Eras tour because we play live, may make mistakes when we're performing. Basically accusing Taylor Swift of not being a live performer. So then Taylor Swift the next night does her show
Yeah.
and says, I love when people talk shit to me and don't believe in me.
Yeah.
And I'm going to play a new song, and brings out a guitar and from like the latest album and just performs it. He's like, this is the first time I'm performing this song, and just did it live. Why are you going after Taylor Swift?
It's just, you're talking about him.
Yeah, I don't even know who he was.
Yeah. I mean, he was in Nirvana. It's kind of a big deal.
I understand, but I think it's just stupid.
Have you seen Taylor Swift versus Scooter Braun?
No, it was in our chat. I didn't watch it yet.
So I watched the first episode. It's Taylor Swift's side. The second episode is Scooter Braun's side.
Are they both in it?
No.
Okay.
It's like a documentary.
Okay.
Like someone just covered it. But it's good. It's good content. It's really.
What's the counter to Taylor
I haven't
Swift's
watched
side?
the Scooter Braun side yet.
I
But-
know the Taylor Swift side.
Yeah.
And I know Scooter Braun just made a business decision and didn't give a fuck.
Yeah. I don't. When I just objectively look at it, like it's fucked up for her, but like he didn't. I don't know if he did anything bad. Like
He didn't do anything illegal.
yeah, he
It's
just took advantage. It's
just-
a good opportunity. It's really the guy that started the label.
Hype.
Yeah, no, Big Records.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
the one that told Taylor that you have a shot at buying this back, and he just turned around and sold it.
Yeah.
That was really the guy that I would be mad at, you know? And then Scooter obviously is just, because of who he is in the industry, it's easy to just hate him because he's so fucking rich.
I mean, he's a billionaire, so
Yeah.
it probably doesn't matter.
Yeah,
I
I mean, obviously, he probably watched it over a beer and laughed.
think he probably has so much money that he probably, yeah, like you said, just laughs about everyone shitting on him.
Yeah, what does he
Like,
care?
what do
Yeah,
I don't know many billionaires that have soft skin.
you can't be a billionaire if you have soft skin. But
Who's your loser?
my loser of the week is, I'm going to just go out on a limb and say Sleepy. I think the debate's going to be bad. I think this is going to be like a pretty, unless he's pumped up or the robot. If Sleepy Robot comes, then I think he's fine. We know that voice can be done by AI. Maybe they just tell him, move your mouth. We'll handle the rest.
So we're recording obviously before the debate, so we'll see.
Yeah. Do you know the jokes that are going to come out of tonight? It's unbelievable.
It'll be good content. There's no question. That's why I'm just going to clip it.
I want to watch the live, and then I want to watch both CNN and Fox News afterwards, because they're all going to spin it as it was the greatest debate for each of them. I thought the president did great. You know, he really stood on the policies. The fucking schmucks that come and talk on their behalf. It's going to be the most hilarious thing.
Yeah. No, I mean, be entertaining for sure.
Content.
I don't have a ton. I don't have anything, actually. I've been traveling. I haven't seen anything.
I have really good content. Olympic trials. USA Olympic trials. So fun. I forget how much I love the Olympics. Like, I forget about the Olympics. Then the Olympic trials this weekend, they had, I watched track and field and swimming. It's so epic. Like, and it's also kind of like gut wrenching, especially for the trials. It's like, number one person in the world. And then, like, you know, you just had a bad fucking 3 seconds and your life's over. Like, you remember Shikari?
Yeah.
She was
The sprinter.
Like, I watched her race.
She crushed.
She, like, I think a world record or whatever. But like, she got disqualified because of marijuana usage before the Olympics. and she won. So that was super emotional. Then Noah Lyles, who's like the fastest sprinter in the world, 100-meter guy. This guy pulls out like anime cards before every race. He's like high prof. If I'm running the Olympics, like NBC is doing the Olympics, I go all in on Noah Lyles. You should make him the face of America for the next 6 weeks. He's so blockbuster. But you got to like hype him up. Not like, oh, we got to give every sport equal. We got to give everyone equal. Fuck that. Go all in on Noah Lyles. Get a billboard of him in every corner in America. He's so blockbuster. He's going to win the 100-meter dash, hopefully. And, I just think like Olympics, you got to hype up the athletes.
Did you see Snoop Dogg ran the 200-meter?
I watched that live. It's unbelievable.
He's fast.
He's fast. That's no joke. What is he, 55 years old?
And like you could totally get injured. Like if I ran 200 meters as fast as I can, I would tear a hamstring or Achilles or something.
He must not smoke weed.
I think he took a break, he said.
There's no way you could do that if you smoke like that.
And then Michael Phelps, this is actually good content. Pat McAfee FaceTimes Michael Phelps this morning and to ask him like what's going on with the USA swim team. Because apparently it was actually so good. The USA 20 and under football team got smacked by Japan.
I watched.
And he just roasted.
It's unbelievable. They don't play football in Japan. Yeah. Who are we sending?
And he was it was like an hour segment. And anyways, Phelps was like, don't worry. We lost to Japan in football. He's like, the men and women at the USA swim team
they look good.
He also said I could still go out there, but I'm not going to.
Yeah, he probably could easily.
Yeah.
The only other thing that I want to point out, which I'm sure zero people watch, which was the NBA draft last night. Zero is probably right.
But yeah, I mean,
100.
I just watched on Twitter.
Okay. The first two picks were French.
Yes.
So it was like the whole thing is
international.
We lost.
I told you guys this like a couple years ago. Like American basketball is in such a bad position.
Football. We lost to Japan. But I don't even want Japan to have a team.
Yeah, but like you think the corner at Alabama, he didn't play. Like whoever the star corner is in all the SEC teams.
We should not lose in football ever for anything.
There was another game. I want to say Canada versus Brazil. I might be getting this wrong. Guess what the score was?
And what sport?
In that same football tournament.
I have no idea.
110-0.
Canada won?
And the joke on the sports show on Pat McAfee was like, is the opposing team just handing the ball? Like, how's there enough time to get that many touchdowns?
Yeah. I don't know. American youth sports has more money spent on it than ever. And I know what it is. It's two things I think it is. I think one, the top athletes in America are overplaying their sport.
That's definitely true.
You play way too much.
Like the AU games are playing 7 games on a weekend.
Yeah, what are you doing? Your body needs to rest.
I have another take.
And you're burnt out. I think these kids get burnt out by like 14 years old. And they're just like, fuck this. I don't care. I think a lot of really talented kids, these guys, Michael Jordan did not play 7 fucking games in a week.
So here's the other take. Instagram. These kids that are 14 and 15 that are star, AU athletes.
They have too much attention.
They care more about their celebrity as Instagram than being in the gym. And that French kid, I don't even know how to pronounce his name. That's number one. Probably doesn't have Instagram.
He has Instagram.
He has Instagram, but he's not focused on his brand.
This is his way out. He's dying to get out of France. He don't want to be there. But he's a socialist.
And I think the U.S., these kids get coddled at like 14 because they have a shot. Like think about like some of the top young basketball players that didn't pan out.
Yeah.
That kid, Mikey, he has like a gun charge.
Yeah.
He had like everyone following him when he was 15 years old.
Yeah.
Amari Bailey didn't make it. He was worried about like his brand deals and like Lamborghinis and all this shit. And the star young kids just get distracted and they're not playing. They're not in the gym.
Yeah. I think
like there was a story I saw on TikTok. Baron Davis was in an interview and everyone just wants Kobe stories.
Yeah.
And they were like similar age when they were like coming up. And he's like, I went to Kobe's house. He was 19 years old. And all I saw was game film tapes. He's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
He's like, I'm watching tape.
Yeah.
And he's like, do you want to hit the club? Do you want to do this? They're like, no, I'm watching tape.
Yeah.
What 18-year-old, 19-year-old star athlete's going to turn down the club?
The
In
problem
America.
is I don't
In
think
America.
like Jokic is watching tape.
I mean, dude, I think he puts on an image. He's too fucking good to not be watching tape. This guy's insane. He's one of the best big men in the history of the game.
I think he's
Do you
more
see
like
the way
Johnny
he
Manziel.
passes?
I
The way
think
he
he's more
passes
like
the
Johnny
ball?
Manziel.
I don't know. Doesn't even look like he's in shape, and no one can guard him.
Yeah, that's just maybe the athletes in NBA are not that good.
Yeah, I think American sports, we have for basketball, it's John Morant and Anthony Edwards. Those are our only hope
Yeah.
from the young people. Anthony Edwards has a gun problem.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's good. Go France.
So what are all these parents? Because you're now in this, like, obviously your kids are a little young, but I hear from kids that are probably 2 years older than Dom
Yeah.
that the amount of money they spend on training and this and that, like, what are they doing?
You should teach your kids French. You have a better chance.
But like you said, there's more money being spent on youth sports than ever.
Ever. I think
And
it's
no
just
one's
for
good.
college. Well, I mean, you could just use it different perspective. Forget pros. It may get you into the high school you want to get into, and maybe gets you into the college. That could happen.
Yeah.
You could get a scholarship. They still hand out sports scholarship left and right. Every sport.
Yeah, no, of course.
Doesn't matter the sport. You can get a scholarship still. So there's tens of thousands of kids getting collegiate athletic scholarships daily
Yeah, you could.
every year.
Yeah, you could pretty much assign the reason why American kids are like, we lost tennis,
Yeah.
we lost baseball,
Yeah.
NFL we got, unless
for
you
now.
have the Japanese come.
Canadians, they've been 110-0. Soccer, forget it.
Forget it. Basketball's done. Like, the American kids aren't good enough.
Yeah, baseball, no.
Baseball, no. Golf, I think we still have. Scheffler's winning every tournament.
Thank God. He's like the only American athlete that's holding us down. But it's not even a sport.
Yeah, it's a hobby.
Yeah. You can get arrested and win the tournament the next day. You can't do that in any other sport.
Yeah, NFL's all we got. That's why the viewership is higher,
Yeah.
because at least it's Americans.
Yeah. Oh, you speak English? We'll watch you.
No one's watching this French kid. Sorry. The
no
number one
no
pick.
one watched this draft. Because there's no American stars.
There are no American stars.
The only reason to watch was if Bronny got drafted or not. That was it.
The only thing people talked about on every sports show was when Bronny's getting drafted.
Yeah.
And people, like, it's a very polarizing subject because, his college freshman year wasn't the best.
Yeah, he shouldn't be in the NBA.
But I actually have a different view. The amount that LeBron has done for the NBA, Bronny should get drafted.
No, yeah, I don't have a problem with him getting drafted.
Rich Paul he's done a ton of interviews. Like, he's the great marketer.
Yeah.
This guy's a marketing machine.
Yeah.
He's like, there's not nepotism in other industries.
Yeah.
He's like, Casey Wasserman didn't build Wasserman.
Yeah.
It's like his dad did.
Yeah. No, I
He's like,
agree for
hopeful that-
nepotism. I think you shouldn't get drafted. You could still sign him. 10-day contract.
No, he should get drafted. He wants to hear his name. That's what he said. He did an interview.
Yeah, that's fine. I have no problem with him getting
Lakers
drafted.
are drafting me at 55. That's it. It's done.
Last pick, whatever. The problem is everyone, you draft him, you want LeBron.
Yeah, of course. So he's going to Lakers.
Are they the last pick?
No, he's the Lakers have the 55th pick.
Okay.
So it's today. Today will be watched. Yesterday wasn't watched.
Nobody.
I'm watching today.
Lakers got another white guy. Good for them. That guy's a
Yeah.
baller.
He looks great.
Yeah.
There's a kid, Cooper Flagg, next year, white dude at Duke.
Oh, yeah.
He's gonna be
I
the
watched
number
his
one
TikTok
pick.
highlights. He's good.
Maybe he can save
He's
America.
a high schooler, right?
He'll be a freshman at Duke.
Yeah. I saw his high school highlights. He's insane.
Yeah.
All right. Shout outs. We have one today from Jake Hobbs. Wanted to wish a happy birthday to my best friend, Josh LaRosa, turning 26 today. So thankful to have him as a friend all these years, and I'll always cherish the memories we have growing up together. Congrats on the new Tesla. And I hope to see you at poker this weekend. Nice. 26, got your Tesla.
Yeah.
Chaktua to you.
We didn't talk about that, did we?
We talked about that last
one.
episode.
But she got signed.
The UTA, no, it's bullshit.
Oh, it is?
As of yesterday, I talked to
Someone at UTA.
someone at UTA. I was like, is Hawk to a client? And they're like, no. I'm like, why not? Just sign her.
So what is this? This is fake news media?
Yeah.
Classic.
But it's a good way to get signed.
I just looked it up. So France has a population of 67 million.
It's California.
We have 400 million.
Yeah, California and France are the same size.
And why are they all the top picks in the NBA?
Their French dedication to work ethic seems to now be higher than
But they're
Americans.
known as lazy people.
Yeah. Or they're just so
Just really good
talented.
at basketball.
Yeah. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
You can't even, what happened?
Like even Serbia.
You know how we don't let the packages in? We may have to not let anyone in now just to save our sports.
I mean, just think about Serbia. I don't even know what the population is. It's not big. The number one tennis player in the world, the number one basketball player in the world.
Does everyone just play sports there all day? You pick up a racket or do you, when you're born, here you go. You want to play tennis or basketball? Get your ass out there.
And I bet you they have like a star soccer player that we don't know about.
For sure they do.
What are we doing? Youth sports. That's my loser of the week. We suck.
Yeah, what can be good? We just have to like go back to the old days.
And you can't be on Instagram if you're a star athlete.
I think you also have to we have to change the format of you. It's too intense. You also need to play other sports.
Yeah, that's
I think for your body, playing one sport is just bad.
that's what Roger Federer. It's like there's a book about it. Basically, like
There is, yeah.
He credits that he played soccer and basketball and all these
I talked to
different
Caleb
sports.
Williams' dad about this, and he was like, if I were to say the two sports that had like a big impact on Caleb's career were soccer and water polo.
Water polo. I mean, he is jacked. So
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
He's like a rock.
Yeah.
I met him like a couple times.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, and they said that gave him like agility to his body and like,
Yeah, I mean, that's what he's known for.
Yeah.
Getting out of the pocket and
Yeah.
throwing 60-yard bombs.
yeah, but if you only played football your whole life, you're probably just like a brick.
Yeah.
All right, Kathy's. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you here on Sunday. Bye-bye.
Peace.